and you're watching Pro Teaches Noobs. Ooh, is somebody talking about pros? Not that kind of pro. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noobs. Today with me, Steph and Docs.
Hello.
And today we are doing another one of my take two. I am going back over Hero Squared by Keith Skippin and J.M. DeMatteis. The late great Keith Skippin, I should say. And basically, the plot of this is that these are two of the same guys. One became a hero, but in his world, it got destroyed while fighting his greatest enemy in a crisis-like event. Afterwards, he somehow ended up in a world where he was normal. But the bigger question we're going to find out is just because he's a hero, does that make him the better man than his slacker other self?
All depends on if he's actually doing heroic stuff or if he's a crap person.
Exactly. And I noticed I had an update going on, so I better turn things off before it drains my internet.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go right in. As we'll be going over the main Hero Square story, but not the Planetary Brigade. That's basically ends up being flashback stuff about the world of the heroic, version.
Are they in therapy?
Right.
Yeah, actually.
Yes.
Yes. We'll see when we get there. You'll see when we get there.
And puppets who attack each other.
Yep.
Funny.
So, once upon a time. Hang on. You're not going to tell me there's always hope, are you? But there is. Face facts, white bread. It's over. Aren't you the one who always said we should never give up? We didn't give up, but we lost. All of us. Guess it was just so long we could keep the darkness away. Whole damn world makes no sense. Just pain. Just death. You never really believed that. The Grim Knight was just a role you played to frighten them. You're more of an idealist than I am. And you're even more naive than I ever realized. Am I? Take a look around. Then you tell me. Blast it, Stephen. Fight. Live. Blast it. When are you going to loosen up a little? Strange comment coming from a man who hasn't laughed since he was 12. That's one thing I never really got. We're so different, night and day. Why did you ever want to be my friend? Everyone looked up to me. The great Captain Valor. They all turned to me when they were frightened, desperate, and said I inspired them. When I was frightened, when I needed inspiration, well, I guess I turned to you. Don't know whether I should be flattered or horrified. But thanks, white bread. Thanks for being my best. Dear God, how did this happen? Where did it all go wrong? Jeez!
All right. That's a good way to start a book.
Isn't this the part with tears screaming down your cheeks? You look to the heavens and scream, "No!" After which you collapse in a pathetic heap, dazed and bewildered. But then you raise up, rage lighting your eyes, and vow revenge against the one who did this. No, you will not, you whisper tenderly to your dead comrade, have died in vain. An excellent performance, oh great and powerful Lord Calignous. Most excellent. Two thumbs up. Shut up, Sloat. Of course, oh great powerful Lord Calignous. Shutting up is now in progress. You soulless monster. Look at what you've done. Look, an entire universe laid waste. And for what? Actually, the great and powerful Lord Calignous had very good reasons, not the least of which was, first of all, he was addressing me, not you. I know that in your sublime viciousness, but second of all, I believe I ordered you to shut up, but the wretched and miserable slut was only trying to defend his lord and master against Captain Valor and calumny. His what? Calumny. Where did an idiot like you ever learn a word like that? Vincent Doltish, so slow as certainly is, he has been endeavoring to improve himself. Really? Every day, Slope picks a random word from the dictionary and tries to use it in conversation. Really? And today's word was, calumny, meaning defamation and slander. Excuse me? And yesterday's word, giggler, an informal noun, majesty, meaning bowler. I don't recall you using that in a conversation. But Slope did. He did. If your monstrous will recall, we were standing watching a group of your genetic warriors knocking down buildings with the severed head of our enemies. And Slope said, "Oh, Majesty, what wonderful gigglers they are." You were doing that just to provoke me, weren't you? Wasting time in worthless banter while our whole world burns around us. I always knew you were hard-headed, Captain, but to call slow self-improvement worthless, that's just wrong. I swore on all I hold sacred never to take a life, but spare me the moral conflicts and breast-beating histrionics. You know why this all has happened, and you're well aware that the fault lies not with me, but with you. Now do me a favor, will you? Die! Ah! Oh, poor baby. Does it hurt? What are you? Invulnerability doesn't count for much, does it? When it comes to subatomic structure, break down the bond and you break down the form. Now, why, I wonder? Didn't I do this a long time ago? I suppose a good therapist could explain it, but there aren't any left alive now, are there? And so we pull you apart, atom by atom. How interesting. I've won. He's dead. If I'm not mistaken, this is where I'm supposed to throw back my head and laugh. My lunatic cackle and echoing out across this lifeless, devastated world. Maybe later. Gore signs Superhuman Registration Act into law. President cites national security concerns. Bush signs literacy bill. Misspells name. Telling us, again, two different worlds. But how is that for the opening?
It's pretty crazy so far.
And this is typical Giffen De Matteis with the banter and everything. These are the same guys who did the blah-ha-ha era of Justice League.
Oh, really? Yeah, very wordy, but
the guys the guys who gave us the teaming up of Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
Yep. What kind of ending was that? It was a totally brilliant ending. It would have been totally brilliant if Rod Sterling had done it 40 years ago, and I think he did about 5 times. And well, that's the whole point. And Shyamalan is the heir to the Sterling tradition. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually the reincarnation of Rod Sterling. Now that would have made a better movie. Famous writer reincarnated and spends his next life rehashing all the corny stuff he did in his previous life. Corny? How can you say it's corny? My point is that it's corny. Now, when Twilight Zone was first on, I'm sure it was all cutting edge. Never seen before. Take your breath away, brilliant. But you watch it now, and it's all like, oh my God, it's a cookbook. Can't you idiots figure that out? Well, I still love it. When I see Shatner going at it with the gremlin on the wing of the airplane, you mean the fuzzy little Muppet with the puppy dog eyes? Correct me if I'm wrong, Milo, but that fuzzy little Muppet scared the crap out of you when you were 6 years old. Right, but I'm 24 now, and my worldview has expanded just a little. Oh, that's right. You're a graduate of the great NYU Film School. You know about mise en scene, what mise en scene means. You worship at the altar of German expressionism. Orson Welles' pictures is under your pillow, and you're way too sophisticated for Rod and M. Night. You're mocking me, aren't you? I'm not done yet. Oh, sorry. We've disagreed about movies as long as we've known each other, Blaine. Why would I waste my time reading your annoying reviews? What are you talking about? We don't always disagree. Name 3 movies we both like. Run, Lola, Run. That's 1. Bran. Okay, that's 2. And C. Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. Okay, that's 3, but we're never supposed to admit that in public, remember? Oh, right. So how's the job thing coming? Job? You're familiar with the concept, right? You show up every day, do some meaningful work, end up on end of the week, they give you a check. Meaningful work? You spend 8 hours a day behind the counter at Blockbuster. At least I'm working the movie business, which is more than I can say for you. Low, Blaine. Very low. Oh, tough love, buddy. Look, you're smart. You're more talented than you have any right to be, but you're stuck on just at a creative crossroads. As soon as I get the editing done on my doc, first of all, you've been editing that thing for over a year. Second of all, a 3-hour documentary on your Uncle Paul's career as a garbage man. He's not just a garbage man. He owns his own sanitation business. But that's the whole point. What is? We're all garbage men. All of us slogging through the refuse of our existence, sifting through the rubbish of life, searching for meaning. Oh, God, I didn't just say that, did I? I'll pretend I didn't hear it, but I heard it. Maybe I have been wasting my time. Who in their right mind's going to want to watch a movie about a guy who picks up trash for a living? No offense. I mean, it's a noble profession and all. I've got a broom, buddy, and it's loaded. Right. I'll be going now. Oh, look, I don't want to bust your chops. Yes, you do. Well, maybe a little, but you've got too much going for you to be blowing your talent on vanity projects. On the other hand, that vanity project's been paying my rent. There's a lot of money in sanitation. You know what Uncle Paul always says, no matter what shape the economy's in, America's still got to throw out the trash. So why don't you just go into the business with him? What? He's asked you before. It's all you're looking for is a way to get by. Then maybe sanitation's the thing for you. Are you nuts? I never do that. Why not? Because I got dreams, and that's why I want to do something that matters. You tricked me, didn't you? Wasn't hard. At least that slacker exterior beats the heart of a wide-eyed idealist, a dreamer of the first rank. I wouldn't go that far. I would. Look, when we were kids, we had it all mapped out. You were going to grow up to be the Academy Award-winning director. I was going to be the Pulitzer Prize-winning writer, and we were going to transform the world through our art. And I remember how that Pulitzer thing worked out anyway. Haven't seen it up on your mantle lately. No, but it will be one day. And that's the difference between us. You're delusional and I'm not. I'm not afraid of my dreams. What? You heard me. No, I didn't. If you didn't hear me, how come you just said, and you know what I just said? Sorry, can't hear you. Not a word. And go for the interview. I already did this morning. They said they'd call. So what? How'd it go? Okay, I guess. Considering it's for a company that does industrial film. Yeah, terrible thing. They want to pay you to actually direct something. It's not just that. I've never been much of a 9-to-5er. How would you know? You never had a 9-to-5 job. And then there's Stephie. What about her? And working that close to her? I don't know. Could be too much of a good thing, you know? As a matter of fact, I don't know. I'm the guy who's always attracted to damaged women. I rescue them from their suicidal impulses, then they dump me. So I have no clue what it's like to have a smart, gorgeous, adoring woman dedicate her life to me. But I sure would love to find out. Too much of a good thing? And you're a jackass, you know. I thought you were trying to encourage me here. Well, I've moved on. For crying out loud, Milo, Stephie put herself on the line to wrangle that interview. It's not like I blew it off. I went up there, okay? I talked to the moron in charge. Well, going in with an attitude like that, I'm sure they hired you on the spot. Hey, and he's the one with the attitude. I could tell the minute I walked in the room that he had it in for me. Remember Mr. Berkowitz, our English teacher in the 9th grade? And what has he got to do with? I knew first day of class that I was going to flunk. I could just tell by the way he glared at me. I thought Mr. Berkowitz was a great guy. He gave me an 85 because he liked you, but he hated me because you decided that he hated you. And so you gave up. You never tried. That's why you flunked. And that's why you blew the interview. Oh. And again, you know, the writing here feels, I won't say real, but
it's fake real.
Yeah, it's like what he thinks people are thinking about and saying, and like, I don't know, it does mimic real conversations that people would have, but at the same time,
a little too verbose.
Right? It's too wordy.
Like if Kevin Smith,
getting to the story.
It's like if Kevin Smith was trying to be more Shakespearean in a way, in his own way.
Well, so he's trying to win a Pulitzer.
Yeah, basically.
That's what it feels
just
like.
Just the nicest guy ever. Call me as soon as you can. And remember, nobody loves you like I do. Bye, handsome. Great. Hi, Milo. It's your honey pie. Call me as soon as you get in, okay? I'm dying to know how the interview went. Isn't Mr. Tedesco just the nicest guy ever? Call me as soon as you can. Oh, so I was repeating it. On stick my corporate tyranny where? Maybe I should have phrased it more delicately. Look, well, let's look on the bright side. When Stephie finds out, she's going to kill me. And then all my troubles will be over. It's got to be here somewhere. But it's not. Oh, well, up and away I go, I guess. And just hope nobody's looking. Milo, I'd like to thank the Academy. Wake up! What? No what for the Riri, brother. Time is running out, and we got to. Who the perp are you? And what the perp are you doing in my apartment? I didn't just hear those foul words coming out of your mouth, did I? I'm warning you, buddy. I've got a baseball bat around here somewhere, and I know how to use it. Sort of. There is no need for this pretense, Milo. It's me. Of course it is. Now that we've got that straight, how about getting your ass out of here before I call the cops? Milo, what is the matter with you? Great Scott, is it Lord Toxic? Has he used some and his mind-altering psycho gas on you? If I say yes, will you leave? Milo, please, there's no time for games. Every living being and thing in this universe is in danger. Hey, don't blame me. I voted for Carrie. Well, I would have if I'd remembered to register. It must be mind control. Nothing else can explain your bizarre behavior. My bizarre behavior? You're the guy wearing tights and a cape. Then it must have been Toxic who destroyed your secret tunnel. You put one hand on my secret tunnel, Balinal. No, I'm talking about the hidden passageway that leads from the collapsed subway station to your apartment. I couldn't find it anywhere. That's why I risked flying up here in broad daylight. Flying. Right. And how long did it take you to get here from Mars? Mars? I'm not from Mars. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The Mars visitor was one of my dearest friends, but look, I'm sure you don't mean any harm. But what say we call your psychiatrist, get you back to the psych ward and snap out of it. Blast you. The world needs you. I need you. One Captain Valor isn't going to be enough to stave off this disaster. Captain Valor, is it coming back to you now? Do you understand? Oh, I understand, right? Captain Valor. Good one. How much did Blaine pay you? Blaine? I got to hand it to you, man. You really had me going there. Can I get you a beer? Alcohol? Not exactly the highest grade, but it gets the job done. But you don't drink. Yeah, well, I can't handle the heavy stuff. One time I had 3 shots of tequila and puked all over Stephie's cousin Paula, which, considering what a twitch she is, was kind of fun. But a few cold brewskis after a hard day of naps and video games. Heaven, something isn't right. Feel free to use the phone. Blaine's probably busting a gut to know how bad he punked me. You haven't been poisoned by Lord Toxic, have you? I'm allergic to most antibiotics, and peanuts give me migraines. That about covers it for me and toxic substances. So, Blaine bumped into you at one of those sci-fi conventions he's always nerding about? There are differences between the two universes. I should have anticipated that. And gotta admit, you actually look a little like Captain Valor. Your chin's not quite humongous enough, and you haven't really got that build. But then, who would? The way they draw him these days, Valor looks like some kind of steroid-enhanced ape in a... Hey! The shirt cost me $6.99 at Walmart. Where's your uniform? Where's my what? Your uniform. Look, this little Saturday Night Live skit is way over. So why don't you fly your butt to Blaine's, tell him what a left riot you were, and get out of my apartment, okay? Could it be that you don't have a uniform? That the world knows Milo Stone and Captain Valor are the same man? That would explain why you don't have a secret tunnel. But if your enemies, if they know, then your loved ones aren't safe. How do you protect them? Come on, knock it off already, will ya? I mean, you're not that good an actor to begin with. No, there's something I'm missing. Something, good Lord, is it possible? After all I've endured, could fate have been so unbearably cruel? Did Blaine write your dialogue? Because if he did, he can really forget that Pulitzer. There's no way that... Ow! That hurt? Of course it hurt, you crazy burp. If you practically ripped my perfect skin off! You're flabby and foul-mouthed and not super. How can you not be super? Uh-oh, I was right the first time, wasn't I? Blaine didn't send you. You're some kind of escaped mental patient. Any second now, you're gonna paw on an axe and chop me in a dozen pieces and leave my body parts in baggies stuffed in trash cans all over the 5 boroughs. Don't be ridiculous. I'm not gonna kill you. You're not? No. I've made a solemn vow never to take a human life. Honest? Honest. Then do me a favor, Spandex for Brains. Hit the road. Spandex for Brains? You insufferable idiots! I've just lost everyone I have ever known, everyone I've ever loved. My entire world is death and ashes. The same thing's going to happen here, and you're treating me like some kind of joke? You just vomited on my boots. Sorry, man. Motion sickness. Guess when you yanked me off the ground and into the... Hey, how'd you do that? To what? We're floating. So? People can't float. Captain Valor can. There's no such person as... there is no way that you could possibly... I mean, Captain Valor's a comic book character. Isn't he? Okay, let me see if I got this straight. You're me, but from a parallel universe, correct? And in this other universe, I'm your Earth's greatest hero, Captain Valor. Or at least I was, until some lunatic named Calignous killed everyone and destroyed the world and a host of other planets. Because, doesn't matter, it would if this was really happening, but I'm pretty sure I'm either dreaming or, more likely, having the mother of all nervous breakdowns. I'm a pretty sensitive guy, you know? So you think I'm some kind of what? Extremely convincing hallucination? I wouldn't go so far as to call you convincing. Oh, come on, Milo, don't be absurd. I'm being absurd? You're a comic book character. Stop saying that. Can't handle the truth, huh? There's obviously been some bleed-through from my universe into the collective unconsciousness of your world. Bits and pieces of my story have made their way. Stephie? What? This picture. It's your girlfriend, Stephie. Well, yeah, how'd you know? I know everything about you, Milo. I am you. Up to a point, clearly there was a moment when our two realities branched off. I became a man who worked tirelessly to uplift the lives of billions of people, while you became... What are you exactly? I'm still working on that. What happened to you, Milo? How did a young man of such extraordinary potential become this? Could you say that again with just a little more contempt? Was it the accident when Mom and Dad died in that car crash? I know that broke my heart, shattered my soul. There was a time when all I wanted to do was give up, turn my back on life, on responsibility. Look, the last thing I need is a hallucination psychoanalyze me. I pay a therapist to do that twice a week. Oh, actually, Uncle Paul pays for the therapist. No way I could swing $100 an hour. Oh, the devil with your therapist. This is a cosmic crisis. Calignous believes I'm dead, but it's only a matter of time before she realizes that some inexplicable accident has hurled me across the universe and straight to you. With the near limited energy she's stolen from the Empyrean overseers, it would be child's play for her to locate me in. Whoa, back up. You're saying that this dude Calignous, is a chick? I find chick a condescending and degrading term. But yes, Calignous is a woman. Whoa, you got your butt handed to you by a girl? A woman, Milo, the most powerful woman in all the universes. And she hates me. Everything she's done. All those worlds, all those lives. All because she hates me. Why? What'd you do that was so? It doesn't matter, does it? After all, I'm not even real. So go ahead, Milo. Wake up from your dream. Make me disappear. Don't you think I could? What if I could? Why not call Dr. Tolstoy? I'm sure she could give you some medication that would end this hallucination. Well, maybe I'll just do that. Hey, hold on. How'd you know my therapist's name is Tolstoy? How many times do I have to tell you? We're the same person. We're up to a point. You said, and if I know you, you said, and if you know who Dr. Tolstoy is, then that means in the other world, she's your therapist too? Well, the great Captain Valor, going to see a shrink. What would those adoring millions whose lives you uplifted have to say about that? You insist on mocking me, Milo. Could you at least do me the courtesy of acknowledging that I exist? Or is that too much of a commitment for a lazy, apathetic quitter like you? Hush, dude. Majorly hush. I'm sorry. That was completely uncalled for. Yeah, well, apology not accepted. I mean, hey, what I do. I'm just an average schmo trying to live my life here. And believe me, I don't need you to tell me how imperfect it is. I'm complaining half the world for that. And you come here and come busting in here all full of muscles and arrogance, acting like you're some kind of, I said I was sorry, blast it! But don't you see, Milo? She's coming. Calignous is coming. And you're all the hope I have left in this world, or any other. Look. Let's just assume, for argument's sake, that I haven't gone completely John Nash, or that this isn't the pilot for some new hidden camera reality show, and that, oh God, I can't even believe I'm even considering this. You're real. Assume away. From what you're saying, this chick Calignous, thinks you're stone dead. I also said she'll figure out very quickly that I'm not. But even if she does, I've seen enough Star Trek episodes to know that there are like gajillions of these parallel universes out there. The chances of her finding this one are excellent. They are? She imprinted me with a psi mark. A what? A thing of a kind of telepathic homing device buried in the deeps of my unconscious mind. That doesn't sound good. It gets worse. How could it? Calignous loathes me, so you keep saying, which means when she finds out about you, me, what's any of this got to do with me? How many times do I have to repeat myself? You and I are the same person. Yeah, I got that part. So what? And knock off with the sighing and the eye rolling, will you? I find it incredibly insulting. Hey, sorry. Milo, if she hates me enough to destroy an entire cosmic reality, what makes you think she won't hate you as much and as much? More? Because now that there are two of us, twice the motivation, twice the hate, twice the reason to annihilate this universe. But I never did anything to you. You don't seem to have done anything, period. Harsh again. It's hard to believe that I turned out to be you. If that was an apology, you might try rephrasing it. I'm sorry. I don't know what I've got to do to be so smug about. Maybe you are a worthless nothing. Oh, well, I feel so much better now. But you've got love, don't you? You've got Stephie. You do have her, don't you? Well, yeah. I don't like the sound of that. It's just like I was trying to say to Blaine this morning. Sometimes she seems like she loves me too much. And that's a problem. Steffie's smart. She's beautiful. She's creative. She's kind. So what does she see in me? That's her flair flaw, right? She can have any guy she wants, and she picks me. What does that say about her? It says she has vision. Actually, she wears glasses. Can't see a thing without them. The human heart can see what the eyes can't. And perhaps what Stephie sees in you is me. Excuse me? She sees your potential to become what I am. So let me get this straight. Stephie loves me because she thinks someday I'm going to turn into you. I didn't realize that your ego was your greatest superpower. Milo, you would have become Captain Valor had you met the old seer in the museum and been granted the power of the Atlantean crystal. Museum? What museum? The 10th grade class to the Museum of Natural History? I remember that trip. Well, I would remember if I'd gone, but I went to the movies instead, and you went to the movies instead? The old seer appears once 1,000 years, seeking faith's chosen champion to defend humankind from evil. Once in 1,000 years, and you went to the movies? I like movies. What's wrong with that? And what's wrong if the chosen one doesn't appear, the old seer returns to the shadow of infinity for another 10 centuries because you blew up that school trip that Earth doesn't have a protector. Hey, maybe that's how it happened in your world. Doesn't mean it would have played that way here. In case you haven't noticed, there aren't any other guys in capes flying around. Great Scott! Great Scott? What does that mean exactly? Who is this guy Scott? And what's he so great about? And what's so great about him? Take cover, Milo. I can hear the distinctive crackle of the trash buns. Meaning, they found us. Holy freaking poop! I don't approve of your choice of words, but I'm forced to agree with that sentiment. Not real. Go babble incoherently under the couch while I engage these savage malignants. Not real. Boop! Now that felt real. You're going to help me clean this mess up, right? Is that all you're going to say? Oh, I could start shrieking hysterically and clawing the walls, but Milo, this is really happening, isn't it? I'm afraid so. And Callisto God, Calignous, wants to kill me as much as she wants to kill you. Given the chance, these malignites would have eaten you alive. So what do we do now? I'm not sure. Hey, you're the hero around here. You better be damn sure. I suppose I could follow the trail of trash spawn particles and hope they lead me to her. But to do that, I need a side reel optimizer. You don't happen to have one, do you? Mine's in the shop. Normally, I just call Mr. Brilliant. He can whip up these things in a couple of minutes, but he's dead, right? Right. Hey, I know how to find her. You do? Yeah, that is, if she'd like and think like you do. I don't follow. Hunt down her double over here. I mean, you came straight to me looking for help. Why wouldn't Calignous? And she'll realize far more quickly than I did that there is no Calignous in this world to join forces with, just as there's no Captain Valor. No, but with her power, couldn't she, make one? I hadn't thought of that. She could, she would. Good Lord. Stephie? What she's got to do with... No, please tell me you're joking. As you may have noticed by now, Milo, I don't have a sense of humor. Get your hands off me, you maniacs! I took 6 weeks of karate. I've got pepper spray in my first eye. Slouch has asked you to be quiet. Continue to struggle, and we will lock you in the gamma boat for later. Oh, please. If you think I buy this alien beta routine, you're crazy. You're probably a bunch of actors hired by the Republican National Committee to strike fear into the populace so the white ring industrious fascists can shut freak up. You hit me. I'm your slap. But if the great and powerful Calignous did not want you alive, Slot would have done more than that. But I warn you, dare to utter another word and Slot shall thoroughly lambast you. Lambast, by the way, means to beat or thrash. It is technically slang, but acceptable. I think in this context, but to hate the Valor, alive, as Majesty said. Truly, her insides, her genius is unparalleled. You, take the female abomination and be gone. But the transport, the portal is, and deal with it, or deal with our Lord's displeasure. As you wish, Slot. Stupendous and invincible Lord Slot to you. Stupendous and invincible Lord Slot since when? Since we came to this world, which Majesty has promised to me as a reward for my effort at self-improvement. Now go, before you incur not just Slot and Slot's wrath, but Majesty's. As you wish, Lord Slot. Stupendous and invincible, Lord Slot. Stupendous and invincible. Such much power Lord Calignous gave her loyal servant. Majesty knew that hated Valor was still alive, and now Slot has the means to destroy him forever. Where is the girl? Why am I even asking? You malignants are merely manifestation of Calignous' will, created from her spite and bile, and the infinite energies of the Imperium Chalice. You exist only to hate and destroy. Well, I, for one, have seen enough destruction for one lifetime. Do you hear me, you wretched animals? No more violence, no more destruction, no more. If Slope may be permitted an observation, you often speak hated and hated Valor about ending violence, but it seems to Slot, and Slot is the first to admit that he is not the most intelligent of creatures, that you cause more destruction than we do. Oh, whoops. Slope needs to work on his aim. Stephie! Milo! Stephie! Believe it or not, I can't explain. Well, no, I can't. Well, I probably could, but you never believe me. Human, halt or die. Milo, what are you doing? Run away as fast as I can. And believe me, this isn't easy. I never did completely recover from that hernia surgery. Alert, the human female is being abducted. I think maybe these guys aren't Republicans. Quickly, or Lord Calignous will have our heads and any other body parts she's in the mood to sever. Look around, Slot. You've managed to hit just about everyone else here, but I'm still standing. Perhaps Slot is just taking his time, toying with Valor, as Majesty likes to do. Well, time's up. You're finished. Finished? The stupendous and invincible Slot is never finished. The stupendous and invincible Slot has infinite, unending power. Did you really think she trusts you with a limitless energy source? Cede that much power to an underling? Well, yes. As you said, not the most intelligent of creatures. Valor knew and made Slot waste it all. Now give me the girl, Slot. Never! You don't sound very convincing. Slot is attempting to cover up his humiliation with bravado. Bravado, boastful and defiance, affectionate bravery. The girl, Slot, I swear to you, I won't lose her again. I'll be right back for you, so don't even think about running. Oh no, running would never ever cross Slot's mind. But very fast walking? That sounds like an excellent idea. Hang on, Milo. Hey, I'm doing just fine, thanks, except for this hernia thing. And I dropped you off 3 blocks away to avoid suspicion. Yeah, well, I didn't see you stopping them from taking Stephie into that spaceship thingy. First of all, it wasn't a spaceship thingy. It was a time and space and warping Calignous pod. I knew that. Second of all, I jammed the doors. I would have had Stephie free and clear in another minute. Another minute, she could have been dead. I know Calignous, and I'm also certain she wanted Stephie alive. I almost certain. Well, admit it. I did good. Well, you did get Stephie out of there, and unlike some people I could mention, pull it off without risking half the city. I did not wreck half the city. Maybe a third. Besides, because of you, Slope got away. Because of me. If I hadn't raced off to rescue you, hey, I was outrunning them. Barely. If they had caught you, I would have put Stephie down, whirled around, looked those monsters in the eyes, and begged for mercy. Hey, there's a lot to be said for mercy begging. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm not knocking it, Milo, but I'm not knocking you. You're not? You showed great courage back there. I did? Yes. It really is a shame you ignored that museum trip. With the proper training and dedication, there's a possibility, a slim one I admit, that you might have gone on to become a genuine hero. Don't start on that what-if routine again, okay? There's no superheroes in this world. Never have been, never will. You're wrong, Milo. There's one right here. Yeah, and what a mess you've made. That's going to be the leading off the news for the next God knows how long. Fox will be having a field day, and when they find out about you, they'll be rejoicing. You've never really heard of the O'Reilly factor. And people need heroes, Milo, and I'm the greatest one there is. He said with extraordinary humility. It's not egotism. It's just a fact. It's what I was born to do. In that other world, maybe, not here. Right here, right now, with you. With me, what are you? Well, until this crisis passes, the two of us will have to share your life. What? Are you nuts? There's no room for you in my life. From what I've seen, there's enough room in your life for an army. Excuse me, can't you find someplace to go? An Arctic fortress? Why? Milo, I'm you. There's no place else. Excuse me, Steph. Do you think you and the two of you could stop bickering long enough to tell me what exactly is going on? Okay, where to start? Might I suggest the beginning? Yeah, but whose beginning? Mine or yours? Let me handle this. Hey, didn't I warn you about sighing and eye-rolling? Guys! So, Stephie, you know how you're always wondering about me realizing my full potential? Interesting. How things evolve, isn't it? I see now that it wasn't an accident that strikes Valor into this world. After all, how could it be? I'm simply not capable of such errors. No, I believe I did it. Not knowingly, of course. It was a sudden, intuitive insight erupting from my unconscious mind. I'm a what? And a brilliant insight at that. Now that I have an entire new universe to subjugate and then destroy. Now there's not one milestone, but two. Imagine how Valor would feel as I exterminate his double, as I exterminate this world, and then I'll find another reality, and another, killing Milo after Milo after Milo, murdering universe after universe after universe, but not him. I'll never kill him. Captain Valor will remain alive to see it all repeated over and over again. Cosmic deja vu to the end of time, courtesy of his darling Stephie. So how is that going to start?
I absolutely hate that her name is Stephie.
Yes.
It bothers me beyond
I had a feeling, Steph.
A grown woman using Stephie is like, I hate it.
Gross.
It's gross.
Okay, but that aside.
Like, it's got a good story so far. I just think it's telling way too much story.
Who wrote this again?
Giffen and Dave Mateus, who are always known for being overly wordy.
It's super wordy.
Yeah, because it's giving me like every Kevin Smith we've ever done.
Yes, seriously.
Even more so.
Even
Like,
more so.
One of the pages, it was like a good 30 seconds of you reading, and then I realized you were only halfway down the page.
Oh my god!
And I was like, wait, what? Like,
I see those
But
bubbles
the
and I
idea-
start to shake a
but-
little.
The ideas are brilliant. Wouldn't you agree
It
with that?
is good. Like, it's a good story. It's just telling way too much of the story.
Entered an exposition era. The last like 5 PTNs, maybe not
Yeah.
5, but like the last ones that we've done. It's like
Yep.
Yeah.
constant exposition,
It
and
is.
I'm just fighting.
It
my
is
way
love
out
to
of it.
see. If you have people who love to hear themselves talk, these are writers who love to read their
Yes.
words.
Yes, for
Yes,
sure.
they want the Pulitzer, definitely.
They want-
I think their words are so, like, just a little bit chopped down, just a tiny bit edited, would do wonders for it.
Yes.
Just like some
But
of the other books.
But now, obviously, I just read through all of it for the first issue. I am not going to do it for everything.
When they said, when they were gonna explain it to Stephie, I was like, oh my god, shoot me if they actually.
Well, thankfully they didn't. Thankfully they didn't.
Thankfully they didn't, because they knew
What do you think
what
now-
I was like.
What do you think of the twist that Stephie is Calignous? Did you see that coming?
Yes, a mile away.
Yeah.
A mile away.
Well,
I
once
was
you found
gonna
out it was a
say-
woman anyway.
I was
Yes.
gonna say yes, exactly. Before this page came up, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be her."
To be fair, though, they already made it pretty clear earlier. It was like, please tell me you're joking. I think they knew even the readers knew at that point, like, duh.
And that's like when you first were describing this to me, I was like, "Oh, so it's gonna be like." Not fully like Civil War, but like on that stance of like, even though he's a hero, he's caused more destruction than
Yes.
Right.
That's going to be a big plot point.
Yeah.
Like I said, the big question is he, even though he has superpowers, is he truly the better person?
Right.
And I'm sure he is. I mean,
And by
already.
the end, it's made very clear he's not. Actually, Milo is the better person.
Yeah, you can kind of see that that's where they're going with
Yeah,
it.
you can-
You know, it's like they're kind of propping Milo up and downing.
Yeah, but at the
Captain
same
Valor.
time, though, Milo needs to be better. It's a case where both are not the best. Even though Milo
Right.
is the better person overall, he's still not tapping into his potential.
Right. He's just
But-
not a good, like, he's not living up to his potential, but he's still a better person overall.
But his
Yeah.
universe has 0.
Hero.
Heroes?
Here's
Yeah.
what
Right.
they don't ever explain it, but here's what I believe happened. When the Great Seer gave Milo his powers in Valor's universe, it kind of changed the world so that heroes started popping up.
Like,
Heroes
Mhm.
and villains. Kind of, yeah.
Gotcha.
like
Well,
it's just a big point where like crazy
where
stuff happens.
it changed the whole world.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So but that's
figured.
they never full on say it, but that's the implication that if he doesn't become Valor, the world doesn't get filled with heroes and villains.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
But-
that-
I see. I'm not going to read all this. I was just going through that for
Wow.
that first one.
Yeah, that is a lot.
But again, the dialogue, I do like the dialogue still overall, even with how wordy it is, because it still feels like it is funny dialogue.
Yeah. No, it could definitely be a lot worse.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
could
that's the
definitely
thing,
be a
though.
lot worse.
It's the type of dialogue that's wordy, but when you read it, you get sucked into it. Like, look at how much when I was talking it. Like, it's just one of those cases where you're like, you move on, your eyes move. It's not like a eyes glaze over wordy.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to trash the whole thing.
Right.
Well, wait
Because
until
I
we get
don't-
further.
Love the art either.
Uh,
It's not my favorite, and
yeah,
it's very
you're gonna have to deal with this artist for most of it.
no, and that's,
Yeah, that's
fine.
fine.
Like I can. It's just like I wish it was just there was just a little bit more. Like the exposition so much, and then the art is the opposite of that.
Right, but yeah. So of course, Stephie is rolling with it. She finds it adorable at first.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Because he's like, you're arguing with yourself. He's not me. Yes, he is. In case you haven't noticed, I'm not a superhero. Sure you are. Inside, where it counts. And yeah, I gotta say, I do buy what Milo says. Like, she's smart. She's cute. She's funny. And why is she putting up with a guy like him?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we find out they've known each other since they were kids.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, again, most of the stuff is just the simple. Hurt is making a point of, you got to stick it out with him. Maybe learn something from him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Of
Well,
course.
because he also was looking at the superhero guy being like, I'm such a piece of trash.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. And she, it seems like he kind of resents her that she doesn't feel that way about him. I like her. I like her character. So
yeah. But she let me put it this way. You ever heard the question, the question of, does it count as cheating if you're sleeping with yourself or something like that? But sleeping with another version of someone, of your loved one.
Yes,
they went there.
Of course.
But hoping they wouldn't.
But there is an explanation, and we'll get to it though. But also, I like Sloat. I love Sloat.
Sloat is funny.
Yep. Sloat has just remembered there was a toilet on deck 12 in need of plunging. Sloat will see to it immediately, Majesty. Sloat will stay right here. Yes, Lord Calignous. Whatever you desire, Lord Calignous. And what do you desire, Sloat? Sloat has no desires, great Lord, other than to please his master. But you never please me, Sloat. In fact, your every word, your every action disappoints me. Sloat knows, Majesty. Oh, he knows. This is why Sloat is constantly endeavoring to improve his insignificant self. That is why every day... I know.
She's going to step on him next.
Yeah, but I love it though when she stands up and then why are you just standing there? Sloat apologizes, but Sloat's feet are suddenly unable to move, and Sloat's head is starting to spit. If nothing else, he amuses me.
I like this story a bit more than going back. I like this. This is fun.
When you find out, you realize Calignous is the real victim.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that.
I like her though.
Yep. Oh, trust me. I adore her. I adore Stephie in both of her forms.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so again, just bantering back and forth. That's the one downside. A lot of this dialogue is just gonna be bouncing back and forth the same stuff. You got a marvelous girlfriend, all this stuff, and they're just gonna keep reiterating that point over and over. That is the one downside I will give this.
Yeah. Just how great she is and how shit he is.
But then bouncing back and forth between comparing him to themselves and all that.
Right.
But yeah, big action going on, more action going on, and of course, as even Calignous points out, as Sloat even points out, when idiot Sloat is willing to point out, you do more damage than I have.
Yeah, you know you got a problem when Sloat is pointing out your failure.
Exactly. But of course, Valor doesn't see it that way. He thinks he's the hero.
Yeah.
Why would they all be turning on me? I'm the hero here.
So that's what happened.
Yep. But yeah, of course, why Calignous? Why must the endless cycle of violence go on and on? Did enough people die on our Earth? Frankly, no. And for someone who likes to make speeches about endless cycles of violence, you certainly see him in to have fun beating the hell out of people. Fun? You call this fun? Are you mad? No, just honest. But then, honesty was never your strong suit. I never lied to you. Never. Of course you didn't. Captain Valor would never tell a lie. He's the George Washington of superheroes. Except that Valor himself is a lie, isn't he? Since the first time he put on that ludicrous costume, it's all been a charade. After all these years, you're still just a stupid little boy, pretending to be something he's not. That's not true. Self-examination was never your strong suit either. But why bother with all this when I have what I want? What you want? Great Scott, this attack was just a diversion. Duh, you were after Stephie all along. You fiend, if you harm a hair on her head, I seem to recall that the only harm to befall a Stephie came from your hands. No, but turns out, no. She didn't want Stephie. She wanted Milo.
Of course.
I like that.
But you can stop. But now, don't just stop there gaping, Milo. Come over here. There's ever so much I want to talk to you about. You may go now, Commander Ugg. And lock the door on your way out. Now, see, this is what made clear that as much as she was propping him up, even she, now that she sees what she at first believes is him at his full potential, is now starting to question things.
Of course.
But yeah, and even here, yeah, the two of them are talking, and again, she both is hearing him as like and all that, but at the same time, again, throughout all of this is pointing out the hypocrisies, the contradictions, everything. Like I said, that's what most of the dialogue spins around.
Yeah.
Yep, but
it's a good book.
Oh yeah, it is.
The story is good so far.
Yep. Well, yeah, we get some flashbacks back with describing something about his world and all that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Different artists here, I believe.
So what actually started the thing on his world? Him getting his powers?
Yeah, like I said, again, they never say that, spell that out, but for the most part, yes. The moment he got his powers, the whole world adjusted accordingly.
Okay.
Yep, but yeah, this is just giving us an example of what things were like over there.
If he'd just give up, he would save the world. And he doesn't want to do that.
Oh, and yes, Milo slept with her.
Oh, see, I was thinking it was going to be
broker.
Well, he did it first, obviously, but of course, in his mind, he's justifying. And even she says, "I am Stephie."
That's crazy, though.
Yep. Delightful sense of humor you've got there. What makes you think I'm joking? Because I know you never hurt me. Never. Calignous is a woman who is utterly loyal to her man. Oh, that's good too. Unless, of course, he betrays me. But you're not like him, are you, Milo? See now, she's loving what he used to be.
All right.
Now, see, that's what both of them Stephies are doing.
Right.
They love their
before he got his powers,
and seeing him at his full potential for the other Stephie.
Well, the thing is in the beginning of the book, his friend, it's so funny. His friend goes, and I thought this, he goes, "I'm only attracted to broken women." And my thought was, oh, this woman named Stephie is 100% broken. Here we
are. Yeah. And she is. And well, Calignous Stephie is. I think
they both are.
To a degree. Now, see, we also get another summary, but we get, I love it, we get both perspectives.
Right.
And the big thing now is one makes it look like Calignous with this horrible monster, and the other side's going to make Valor look like he and his partner were just, violent, crazy. But of course, we all know there has to be a middle ground. Like here, she tries to say, hasn't there been enough death and destruction? Knowing what we've seen from her, she would never say that.
Yeah, right.
Just like the whole Batman argument. Yeah, you're not killing these people, but you're breaking every bone in their body.
Yeah, for real, though.
Like I said, we never get what really happened, but we have to look at both sides and realize what things are going to be completely in the middle. Oh, now this is what they claim that this is what led it, and he's claiming she did that. Was the action? He tossed it and accidentally triggered it. Whereas here, she made it seem like she was just making a threat, was never going to actually do it until he just tossed it. Okay, see, both sides are making the other look even worse than they are.
Right.
Or in her case, she's making herself look like she's completely like, I did nothing wrong. When it's like, oh, don't give me that, Calignous. We've seen how you've been acting already. But, yep. So, yeah, and I do like that when we're seeing these parallels here. And that's going to happen quite a bit where we're going to see, how they juggle around with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Calignous has just had to react to survive, I think. Whereas
she instigated too. She instigates too.
Whereas the other Stephie is in love with a man that isn't that man. Like
exactly.
Yeah, right.
It's what she the way she sees it is she is falling for what kept her around with her Milo. But she's also because she's not seeing his flaws yet, besides from what she's hearing. She's ignoring the flaws because she's seeing like, this is what I've been wanting my Milo to be.
Right.
just like Calignous is seen looking at this as this. I wish he never became Valor, because this is the and the Milo I adore.
Exactly. You have one of them looking at it like, oh, my Milo isn't good enough, but Valor is. And the other one is looking at it like, I wish I would just have Milo again and not Valor.
Exactly. Especially when we find out what led to their falling out. And we'll get, and now they hinted here and there, but since it's going to be revealed, I'll get to it when we get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, so this, them fighting and everything. And yeah, of course, just all this stuff. And she's a perfect host. In fact, she what? Is you realizing? Wait, you slept with her? How could you? I love this, Milo. What kind of person are you?
Crazy, though.
Tragically flawed. Did you stop to think about the ramifications of your action? Not really, no. You're hardly in a position to lecture him, Captain. Don't start in again. I've told you 1,000 times over, spare me the protestations of innocence. Never what? Keep out of this, Milo. All right, when it's about me screwing up, it's okay. When it was about you, I don't go there. But yeah, she just lets them go then. I can't make it clear. She's like, nope, I had my fun. You go.
Yeah, right. She already had what she wanted.
Yep, and all this stuff going on. And like I said, this is, like I said, she's seeing the innocence. So again, she's also seeing the other parts of Milo that makes her pity her Milo, but seeing it as well in here. Like, again, it's the exact same thing we'll keep getting here. She's seeing the best. But
seeing the best in him, but still, that's not what she gets anymore.
Yep. Now he talks with Blaine, and Blaine, again, like I said, that's the whole thing that, again, but now he's like, how could you sleep with my arch enemy? So it's like he's finally, it just dawned on him again, like the fact that, look, he just out of the blue just zooms over there. It's like, you already know he did it. Why are you just going for the destructive path right away?
Yeah, right. You already know.
Exactly. No, I do love this, though. I don't believe we've met. My name is Calignous, but you may call me Stephie. And and this is where they have a nice chit-chat,
just to make sure you know. So this is me.
Yep. But also like, afraid of me? I wouldn't blame you after everything you've heard. Not afraid, really. Well, maybe a little, but mostly I'm just curious. Yeah, me too. It's like looking into a mirror, only everything's just a little blurry. So is that why you looked me up? Curiosity? I mean, you're not planning on kidnapping me again or anything. I never kidnapped you. So I just imagine those alien thingamabobs wrapping their slimy hands around me and dragging me screaming out into the street. That was just my way of yanking Milo's chain a little. Milo? My Milo. The one in the idiotic costume. Not yours. I never had any intention of really kidnapping you. Wow, that's reassuring. It should be. I was being sarcastic. So was I. Although sarcasm was never really my strong suit when I was an innocent virgin like you. I'm hardly an innocent virgin. Oh, please, Stephie. You're the kind of woman who could be married with 5 children and still be pure as the driven snow. Should I be complimented or insulted? Little of both, I guess. You're kind-hearted. You see the good in everyone. Always ready to give a person a second chance no matter what. And the problem with that is, you tell me. Are you judging me? I'm judging myself. We are the same person after all. Hardly. Definitely. We're just separated by circumstances. A twist of fate here, twist of the knife there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you destroy an entire universe? Guilty, with an explanation, and that explanation is Captain Valor. So again, they're both having similar talks back and forth, and all that, but then, again, she's trying to say, all the, this going on, putting some of the blame on Valor, saying, I'm not as bad as he makes me out to be, which, given his actions, I can kind of buy it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yep, but then by the end of it all, when she leaves, she then says, and for the record, it is Calignous! just storms over there again. See, but then when she leaves, she then makes it clear. By the way, I slept with your Milo.
Just to dig it in a little bit.
And unfortunately, one guy has a heart attack because she disappears. Unfortunately, Valor gets the blame for it.
Oh, really?
And of course, Milo tries to just explain everything to him. You're an immature, pathetic, lying weasel, and I hate you. It's like, dude, you're not doing yourself any favors.
No, not at all. You're just making yourself look worse.
And yeah, this week is one of the moments of all those powers and he couldn't save him. And I say, the artwork here works.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Oh my god, it is chin though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's better than some of the other pages though.
Yeah.
It's much better, but...
Yep, and then this is what I love best. My favorite character, the psychiatrist.
I'm waiting for it.
But excuse me, I said you're black, and that's interesting to you because the Dr. Tolstoy from my world isn't what? African American. What's amazing to me is how you look actually like her, despite the fact that I'm black. Do you have a problem with my race, Mr. Valor? That's Captain Valor, but you could call me Milo. No, she can't. And of course, I don't have a problem with that. Captain Valor is Earth's greatest hero at yada yada. It's my duty, ma'am, and I take it very seriously. Milo, you've been awfully quiet. I figured if I let him ramble for a while, you'll understand what I'm dealing with here. You mean the belief that she's your doppelganger from another world? Another universe, ma'am. I thought I made that clear. Another universe. I see. And it's not a belief, it's a fact. Of course it is. You sound skeptical, Doctor. Well, isn't it an easy concept to accept? If you read a comic book, oh, that's right. Captain Valor is a comic book character, isn't he? I'm not a comic book character. Yes, you are. And I wish you would stop calling me that. You see, Doctor, there's clearly been some sort of minor dimensional overlap. Knowledge of my exploits and the exploit of my beloved teammates of the Planetary Brigade have somehow he's trying to explain it all now. Here, it's all right here at first. It's the second psychiatrist meeting. That's the better one because that's actually going to be near towards the end of the story.
Oh, yeah.
But here again, she starts to get the ball rolling at first.
It's like trying to convince him that Valor isn't real and it's just in his head.
At first, but she does believe it to a point, obviously. I love he flies off to just smash an iceberg and then come back. But she even says, goading him until he pulls away. That's a recurring pattern in your life, Milo. Is it? You do it to all the people you're close to, and you're going to keep doing it until, hey, I'm not close to him. I don't even like the guy. All right, you think, but of course he says, you think your violence is the answer to everything. There he goes again. What makes you think you've got the right to treat me like that? You want to go around picking on people less powerful than you? Run for president. It was just a joke, Milo. No, it wasn't. You were mad at me. And the first thing you did was pick me up in those Charles Hazard arms of yours and toss me around like I'm one of those costume bad guys you love to beat the crap out of. Well, I admit I was a little angry, but you were a lot angry. You wanted to punch me, drop a building on me, swap me around with the city bus. You know, maybe I am kind of immature and emotionally crippled and socially inept, right so far. But I've never once in my life punched anyone. I never tried to solve my problems with my fists. Captain Valor only uses violence as a last resort. That's what you always say. Look, you can trick it up any way you want to. Wrap it up in high ideals and pompous speeches. But the fact is, superheroes hit people. Superheroes hurt people. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's all they're good for. Another word, Milo and I, hit me with your heat vision. That's not what I was going to say. What? Wasn't it? And again, just keep like, I resented you, and the longer you're around, the more I resent you. Things like that. He was like, do you hate Milo? No. The pathetic part is, I kind of like the guy in a completely hetero kind of way. Well, I like you too, Milo, and I believe in you, son. Given time and hard work, you might just rise above your. Cut that out. What? You're always doing that, calling me son and youngster. We're the same age. Chronologically, yes, but my life experience has made me wiser, more mature, more pompous, self-important, condescending. Do I appear that way to you, Doctor? How do you see yourself, Captain? That's another thing. Where did this Captain routine come from? All this. Again, I do like that it is a complete deconstruction of everything.
Yeah.
It's like, what if Clark Kent was arguing with Superman?
Right.
But if only Clark was a bit more pathetic.
And you had an intermediary.
Well, in this case, yeah. Oh, hey, come back here. You can't just leave me. I didn't do it on purpose. Fine, I'll get up.
What is happening though? He just leaves to go break an iceberg and come back.
Yep. Oh, okay. Here's where we get implied of what happened. That's the Wonder Woman equivalent, the goddess.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So she's the Clark Kent in Superman.
And this is where she revealed. This is where he reveals the Planetary Brigade had a secret beach, and I was concerned about Stephie, about my enemies discovering our connection. So I broke up with her. You did dump her, only because I loved her. It was the right thing to do, but I was heartbroken, devastated. So was she. So in my weakness, in my loneliness, I sought solace in the arms of another woman. You what? You go totally self-righteous on me, and when I screwed up, and you did it too. You super hypocrite. You betrayed her, you. It wasn't a betrayal because we weren't together anymore. Oh man, that's so lame. I could have said it.
That's crazy.
Well, wait until we eventually. Oh, I love this. I say because also we find out his middle name is Eustace. I love this. Doctor, yes. Clark Kent called and said he's running a little late. Wants to know if you can reschedule your for 3:30. Not funny, Karen. Not funny at all. But she's realized what she's now roped into. Now we get a bit of a backup story and everything. This is where we see more of it from the comic point. Oh no, this isn't a backup. This is just the next issue. But as she's seeing that, at long last, Captain Valor is dead. You may have destroyed a universe, but you'll never destroy our love. That's what she's seeing.
That's crazy.
But now they're at the funeral for that man, and look at this. Milo doesn't even have a tuxedo. He has a tuxedo shirt. Again,
shirt.
But unfortunately, because the other thing, Eustace is an embarrassing middle name, obviously. But that's the one who killed by Irwin, because she's blaming him for it, even though he didn't do anything. He tried to help, but the way it looked, because she didn't see Calignous disappear. Her husband did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So yeah, meets up with Blaine again. Stephie, she has every right to be mad at him, at Milo.
Of course.
Yep. But even said again, if you notice though, how many times he quickly goes to violence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
He does.
Yep. So eventually, we get a recording of what happened again. Further, he is not being helped at all. And unfortunately, they say now he's responsible. So now the police are going to come after him.
All right.
Oh, and what for a moment? Oh, I love it. Less dialogue, more hitting.
More hitting.
Nope. Now we think for a moment she might have made a clone of him.
Oh
Lord.
Does the head look crazy?
No, it's in smoke. It's in smoke. It's in smoke.
I was gonna say it looked like it was a long neck. It didn't look like smoke.
Right.
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 Like Ken.
Yep. But yeah, so he's trying to see about ways of getting her back, Stephie back at everything, and he's trying to tell, and Valor's trying to tell her, don't just let things run its course.
Right.
But I'll save you from this imposter. There's a secondary one leading to a big fight, but this is a major turning point here because Valor is not used to. Basically, the way I think it was, either he didn't pay attention to destruction, or the world adjusted as well, where destruction, superior heroics did not lead to as much destruction. Because this leads to such a big fight. And look, Milo's actually doing the heroic thing, trying to help people, like help this guy out.
Right.
And
you're
all
just
this
over here fighting, tearing everything apart.
boom.
Yeah.
And then finally, for God's sake, stop! What's happening? I feel sorry, chum. You're not fooling me with that old gag. Turns out it was the actor who played Valor who got altered by Calignous.
That's funny.
And it's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm saving the city from Calignous and her superpower pawn. Saving it! Saving it! Milo, I don't understand. Why are you? Look around, you muscle-headed moron! Take a good look around! No.
Destroying it.
It never happens like this on my world. Guess what you said before is right, huh? This isn't a comic book! Like I said, this is the turning point.
That's crazy.
How could all this happen? I'll tell you how. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, I love it. It's not just her. It's both of you. Both of you. But you're worse than she is because you're supposed to be a hero. You're supposed to be better than this. You know, it's funny, you know. You always call me a loser, but the truth is, you're the loser. An immature idiot who's been solving problems with your fists since the first time you put on those stupid tights. You think you can run around beating people in a hamburger, dropping buildings on their heads, and there are no consequences? You think, Eustace? Valor? I'm sorry, I didn't mean... Dude, are you okay? Come on, man. Say something. Oh, boy. Unfortunate. But yeah, things are going to start to fall apart. And it's exactly as she wanted. But for a brief moment, she hesitates.
Huh?
I mean,
Now...
yeah. She made, like...
No, trust me, everything gets explained towards the finale. The finale puts everything in context. That's why I'm breathing through a lot of this. Because, again, a lot of this is going in circles, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the most predictable book, but it's pretty predictable.
It is. But yeah, obviously we're having people here trying to argue, say, like, look at the destruction you've done, all this stuff. But Pick's like, Calignous, the one and only. How did you manage to? They saw what I wanted them to see. Because she basically disguises them claiming FBI, we're taking him away just to get him out. Now, I do like it. She also says that the fight could have ended if Valor didn't punch. That's been her whole point. If he had just waited, talked the guy down, eventually everything would have reverted back to normal without all the destruction. All she's been doing is proving his hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Granted, but she also knows how
chill.
But she also knows how he's going to act, and she doesn't care for those who suffer to make that point.
Right.
Which I do find that interesting.
Yeah.
Well, because talking doesn't get it done.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to let somebody play it out for them to understand.
Well, she's obviously already told him, though. Like, everybody's told this guy. He just can't see it.
No, he can't because he thinks he's doing good.
Right.
Yep. Now, but here's where you realize that just how broken she is as well. But I also love, like, slide over, darling. Assuage my hunger. Don't get me wrong, Stephie. You've got a great assuage, but I don't think I can do it now. And why not? I can't stop thinking about all those people, the ones that were hurt, killed when Valor and the clone were going at each other. You certainly weren't thinking about them 10 minutes ago when we were going at each other. Well, I'm thinking about them now, okay? Cars crashing, glass flying, bodies everywhere. It was horrible. And you blame me for that? Maybe. Did it ever even occur to you that had Valor not reacted with his fist, had he actually talked to that genetically altered hack actor, the madness and virus could have been avoided? I was hoping it would be avoided, and at once, just once, Captain Valor would react with his intellect, not his fist. You believe me, don't you, my love? I'm so confused. I don't know what to believe anymore. You know, it'd be fantastic if we could all sit down with Dr. Tulsi, you and me, you, Stephie, Eustace, then Eustace. It's our middle name. I call him that so people can tell us apart. Eustace! He always told me he didn't have a middle name. Now I know why. Eustace! It's not that funny.
Right.
But, Stan parody.
That's funny.
Let's go. That's hilarious.
But he returns. And we find out also he can revert back to Milo if he just lets it. But then I love it. Like, don't become Milo. I know you're hurting, Stephie, but you still love him, don't you? You still? No, not anymore. Not after everything he's done. Maybe I never loved him. Maybe I was just in love with the man I thought he could be someday. The man who he's been in there a long time. Maybe you should. I'll go check on him. But then Milo's having a bit of a breakdown, and he starts mocking him, and people died out there today. People died. I know. I was there. I almost died too. So what do you want to do now, hero? Finish the job? Well, go ahead. Strangle me. Snap my neck. After the mess you made of my life, I don't really care anymore. Next, we get the secret origins of from both sides. First, it's everything we were told. Like instead, he goes over there, he goes to the museum, meets the seer. It's a spoof on Shazam, the old wizard Shazam.
Shazam.
That's great.
I mean, it was the most obvious they could go with.
Of course.
But his origin is what we've been told already.
Yeah.
But Calignous is not. This is what we've been building up to. As we find out, like, I don't even know why you brought me here. I brought you here so I could explain. There's nothing to explain. You broke up with me so you could have an affair with that superpowered slut. End of story. Great Scott, Stephie. What are you saying? It's not like you to call people a derogatory name. Well, maybe I'm not feeling like myself. In case you haven't noticed, I've been lied to, manipulated, and betrayed. That's not how I meant it to be. I stopped seeing you in order to protect you. Don't you understand? If any of my arch enemies ever found out that you were Captain Valor's true love, give me a major break. You are my true love, the love of my lifetime. So explain why you jumped Earth Goddess's bones 15 minutes after dumping me. Wait, don't tell me you were so depressed over losing me that you needed her to comfort you. One thing led to another, and the next thing you knew, you were trading bodily fluids. I was depressed after losing you. Suicidal. And Earth Goddess was trying to help me through it, Wade. Look me in the eye, Milo Stone, and tell me you haven't been lusting after her for years. It's not. That's what I thought. You dishonest, deceitful pig! I can't believe you did that. You can't believe it? You can't believe it? I've been your girlfriend since you were 13, Milo. You were covered in acne, failing half your classes. You had no friends except for that fat loser Blaine. Oh, and I think she says they're not out of anger, obviously. That part. Like all the kids and most of the teachers at Helper Junior High thought you were the biggest nerd that ever walked the planet. But I saw something in you. I believed in you when no one else did. We used to wander around together for hours just talking. You told me everything, all your fears, all your failures. You've read to me from your journal. Go on and on about how much you love movies, how you wanted to be a director when you grew up. And I told you to go for it. I told you to be anything you wanted to be. I tutored you in math and science, helped you buy some decent clothes so you wouldn't be laughed at every time you walked down the hall at school. I loved you, Milo. I loved you with every iota of my soul. You were a hero to me long before you ever put on that uniform. When you finally told me about what happened, how the old seer turned you into Captain Valor, I could have freaked. I could have run away right there. But I didn't, did I? I stuck right by you. You think I wasn't terrified out of my wits every time you put on your tights and went out to fight some psychopathic alien? You think I didn't cry myself to sleep some nights wondering if I'd ever see you alive again? But I never told you how frightened I was. I knew how difficult it was for you being Earth's greatest hero. Having to pretend you were some perfect, flawless Superman when deep down you were just a scared, stupid kid, and I didn't want to make things any harder for you. And how did you repay me for everything I did, everything I was to you? By throwing me out like a bag of garbage and banging the ridiculously caricature of a woman. Why, Milo? Wasn't I good enough for you? Did she have superpowers in bed too? Does she? That's enough. No, it isn't. I've got plenty more too. I said, that's enough! And that's when the self-justification started. You think you know what it's like to be Captain Valor, he said. You have no idea. I didn't ask for this power, this responsibility. People all over the world, all over the universe, looking to me for help, for hope. And they expect me to be everything they aren't. They expect me to always be right. And to never slip, never fail. Well, I'm human, damn it. I made mistakes. And if you can't forgive me this one, well then, the hell with you. So I was attracted to Earth Goddess. So what? I never acted on that attraction while we were together, although God knows I had opportunities. After we broke up, I was devastated. Earth Goddess, she was kind to me. She knew, in a way you never could, what it was like to carry this burden. And yes, we made love. I was confused. I was hurting, and it just happened. But you never make mistakes, do you? Stephie the good, Stephie the perfect, always kind, always understanding. You're everything I'm not, everything I just pretend to be, and I am sick of it. And that's when he did it. Did what? I cracked the foundation of the Empyrean chalice, shorted out the enforced shield, and started tipping over. Not that I noticed at first. Valor claimed later that it was an accident, but I know he did it intentionally. How can you know that? I was looking into his eyes, Milo. I could see the hate there. So many years we've been together, and he resented me all along, resented all the help I'd given to him, all the love I'd given him. Until that moment, I would have taken him back, would have forgiven everything. Stephie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, but I could never forgive that. He tried to cover it up, pretend he was ashamed and contrite, but I could finally see through him. Don't say anything. I'm leaving. It's over. He wasn't a hero. He was just an angry adolescent in a Halloween costume. He enjoyed the risks, the fame, the adulation, the sickening violence. He loved being Captain Valor because he hated being Milo Stone. And he hated me. Stephie, goodbye for loving Milo. Maybe he didn't topple the chalice intentionally, at least not with conscious intention. But in some shadow part of his psyche, he was so filled with loathing for himself, for our relationship, that he wanted to erase me from his life forever. To hear Valor tell it, that he tried to save me, but he couldn't break through the plasma field around the chalice. Please, he's flown through the heart of an exploding sun, and he couldn't get through that. So while he went conveniently bouncing across the trophy room, the chalice toppled. Aye, Stephie! And the cosmic nectar was in it, a nectar that contained the soul echoes of every Empyrean overseer that had ever died in battle, a nectar that once fell into the wrong hands and nearly destroyed a dozen universes, washed over me, burning through my flesh, down into my muscles, my bones, my blood, my very soul. Stephie, are you? The funny thing is, the chalice is interdimensional in nature, infinitely deep, so it was only a small amount of the nectar, relatively speaking, of course, that actually spilled out over me. But it was enough. You're afraid of me. Good. You should be afraid. I'm not afraid of you, Stephie. I'm afraid for you. The Empyrean energies coursing through your body could kill you. They will kill you unless we get you to Mr. Brilliant. He'll find a way to touch me again. And don't touch me. Don't ever touch me again. What's going on? I was on monitor duty. There was an alarm. Oh, how perfect. Face to face with the other woman at last. Is that Stephie? Like, you'll have to excuse me, Earth Goddess. I'm not exactly looking my best at best. Bad hair day. Bad everything day. The chalice, the Empyrean nectar. It's inside her. She's Gaia's goblet. And Stephie, listen to me. If we don't get you into the med lab immediately, you're going to die. Don't you dare pretend that you care about me. Stephie, please, I'm begging you, let us help you. No human can contain those energies. But Milo, my darling, haven't you noticed? I'm not human anymore. Dear God. And Valor would tell you the Empyrean energies drove me mad. But Milo, I swear to you, they drove me sane. I saw Valor, saw all of them for what they are. Super fascists, drunk on their own power, bent on controlling all the poor, helpless human beings they were pretending to protect. They were right about one thing, though. The nectar nearly destroyed me. If you only knew what I endured, the hell I went through just to survive. But I had to survive. I had to, so I could stop them. I don't know what to say. I know I've done bad things, Milo, terrible things, and I'll have to live with my sins for the rest of my life, and maybe longer. But I'm not the villain he says I am. You have to believe that. I was trying to help the world, not destroy it. I was trying to... What's the point? You never will believe me, and I don't blame you. You go, and you can go, Milo, if you want to. I won't stop you. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here, Calignous, as long as you need me. Please, call me Stephie.
Oh,
what did you think?
Call me Stephie.
But what did you think? Now, see?
I called all of that at the top of this.
You did?
I really called so much for resentment, all that. Their resentment.
It was there. They built up things. They set that up.
All right.
I like the way they did it.
Valor is in the wrong. Between the two of them. She had, between the two of them, her rant had more righteousness than his.
Yeah, but that's also a little bit of his point. But he's wrong for snapping like he usually does, and they did a good job with this. And even the writing, it wasn't as it was
not all one-sided.
It was much more engaging, and the I like this a lot. This is a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end they did kind of justify a lot of it.
But we have the finale. Now they have a different artist who's trying to be similar to Abrams.
I think it's really annoying that like you're waiting for these books, right? And right before Calignous' book, you get a book about him, all the stuff you already knew about Valor. Like that's kind of mean to do to your audience. Like they already know.
Well, to be fair though, these were all in the same issue. This one.
Yeah,
oh, okay. I thought it was two different ones.
No. This one was in the same issue, thankfully. So I think that was much better.
Okay. Yeah, it is much better. I was like, because, you wait for these books.
Oh, and now this is the point where those two finally slept with each other, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This was the point. But yeah, now we're getting into this. And now what seems to be a final battle between the two of them. It turns out, okay, because obviously, as we know, the world, it wants to arrest Valor. But, and we get a summary of everything, because here's the other thing. Those first bunch of issues, we had the one main, a 3-issue mini first, then we had what was supposed to be an ongoing that ended early. This was many years later, where they finally wrapped things up.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But yeah, we open up with Valor dying. And for a moment, Stephie thinks it's him, that he's dead. Basically, there's a way of covering it up where the world now thinks he's dead.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So
everyone ended basically in that spot.
Yep. Now you see very different artists who's trying to be similar to the other artists.
A little better though.
But put its own spin on it.
Yeah.
More like
And I do love how Milo comes in, starts explaining everything to them, and then it takes a while before he realizes, wait, and then he's finally like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go. I don't want to be in the way. But then they basically ask, like, does he make you happy and all that? And again, this is where the case where like he is on the side of Calignous after hearing everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And who can blame him?
Yeah, exactly.
But
I mean, you would be after you hear everything from both sides.
They both are with the people they wanted, though.
Right.
Yep. But look.
What the heck?
Basically, we're going to see all multi-universes, Valor. This one's a goofy one.
That's funny.
But that next issue, and this is the issue I really want to get to, and that's the one that has deal with and with Dr. Tulsi, which they all even said we should meet together. She's taking him up on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
I'm Calignous the Magnificent. I see all. I know all. I keep forgetting that. Seriously, Milo, I think it's a wonderful idea for all of us. You do? That's fantastic. I mean, there's got to be a better way to sort things out than all this punching and hitting and knocking down buildings, right? Only problem is I haven't actually had a chance to call Tulsi yet. Believe me, that's not a problem. By the old Sears whiskers, what happened? Where are we? You're in a death trap, Captain Valor, cleverly designed to utterly destroy you. So you've reared your head again, Calignous. Well then, bring on your death trap. But if you have even a shred of DZ left in you, spare Stephie a mile before. Does this look like a death trap to you? No, but you've used the Fairy's illusion before. Dude, she was joking. You were joking, right? Right. We're in Dr. Tolstoy's office. And Tolstoy's office, heartless fiend, transforming a place of healing into a den of torture. Dude, read my lips. No death trap. Remember I told you I want all of us to get together for a session to talk things through? And Calignous agreed. I'm standing right here. Why not ask me? Don't trust her, Milo. She's a vicious, manipulative lunatic. You and Stephie are in great danger just being in the same room with her. Do you see, Milo, why this is a useless exercise? He's a simple-minded, one-dimensional comic book character who insists on seeing the world, and especially me, in childish black and white terms. I am not a comic book character. If the cape fits, Milo, you could have at least called and warned us before zapping us across half the city. But since we're already here, I think it would be helpful if we spoke to the doctor and, hey, where is Dr. Tolstoy? Darn. I thought I forgot someone. Hiya, Doc. She's looking a little woozy. Allow me to get that for you, Doctor, and allow me to explain. So let me get this straight. You really are, yes, and she's, and you want me to? Exactly. Everyone on the couch. I love that expression. She's like, like this will be an experience.
Right.
No, that's a good. I like that little panel.
Yeah, but it's like a sneer and a smirk. Like, what the hell?
Like
That's the case where she has to say, of all the, you know what the hell?
Right.
Like, those two expressions.
Better, but I really like that. That like even if you took the words out, that's just a really cool like
Yeah, I like it.
piece of art.
I like the panels.
Okay, now who'd like to start? This was my idea, so I guess I should go first. And I just want to say that I'm sorry. Well, it's about time you apologize to me. I think that I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Stephie. You have nothing to apologize for, Milo. You haven't done anything to. No, I mean that Stephie. Sorry for what? For everything. All the pain I've caused you, and not just this last time, but through our relationship. It's all right. No, it's not all right. I've been an immature jerk. Hell, maybe I've always been an immature jerk, but that's no excuse, you know? Why do you do it, Milo? Why do you keep repeating the same destructive behaviors when you know the hurt it will bring, not just to Stephie, but to you? I wish I knew. What kind of answer is that? At least he has the decency to apologize. At least he has the self-awareness to know what an extraordinary screw-up he's been. I don't know if I call it extraordinary, but you spent your entire life avoiding anything even remotely resembling introspection. You've tried desperately to be shallow, and congratulations, you've succeeded beyond your wildest dreams. And that was cruel but accurate. I will not sit here and be insulted by a murderous, deceitful, demented. I'm deceitful. I'm not the one who betrayed the woman he loved and then tried to murder her by dumping a chalice full of cosmic toxin on her head. He did what? That's not how it happened, and you know it. Oh, I remember exactly how it happened. You and that 10-foot-tall tramp had it all planned from the beginning, didn't you? Too bad it didn't work out the way you wanted it. Too bad I lived. First of all, leave Earth's goddess out of it. Second of all, I never betrayed you. I walked away from our relationship to protect you from my enemies, and then jumped straight into a super sludge bed. That's not how it happened. But you'll never believe me, will you? What I believe is that all the power, all the adulation went straight to that bloated head of yours. I wasn't good enough for you anymore. And sit down, both of you. Now, okay. Let me set a few ground rules here. If we're going to do this, we're going to act like adults, civil adults. I want you all to feel free to express yourself, but no shaming, no blaming, no hurling insults, no leaping off the couch and snarling at each other like animals. Civil adults. Is that clear? Yes, Dr. Tolstoy. Can I say something? Of course, Milo. I really want to work this stuff out, not just for our sake, but for the sake of the world. I don't want to see our Earths go down the way theirs did, and Milo's right. This is bigger than the four of us. But if we stay stuck in the past, if we're trapped in a loop of, what'd you call it, Doctor? Shaming and blaming, there's no hope for any of us. Hope? You saw the news tonight. She did a Darren East again, turned some poor man into my doppelganger and then murdered him. There you go again.
East.
And always believing the worst about me. Oh, then you didn't kill him? I don't have to explain myself to you. I haven't explained myself to anyone. So we're all here to communicate with each other, share our feelings. Hey, what's the family jewels? Except the great and powerful Lord Calignous is above all. My name is Stephie, and I'll be happy to communicate if you'd actually listen for once, but you never hear me. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, you distort it, turn it into something it's not. You're saying all those plans for world domination, all the times you attacked the planetary brigade, tried to enslave half the universe, that was just my mind distorting what? Your noble and altruistic action? Yes, I wasn't just trying to destroy our world. I was trying to save it. Excuse me. Hey, what? Hey, didn't I say watch the jewels? Tell me about your relationship with Stephie. I can't tell you anything till Super Klutz here gets his knees off of my... Not you, Milo. I was talking to the captain. Yeah, tell us all about our relationship with my ex-girlfriend, who, for the record, wasn't ex until you showed up. You know I never meant for this to happen. Of course you didn't. I guess it was inevitable. Why was it inevitable? Because betrayal of those close to them is the only thing he's good at. Let him talk, please. Stephie's everything I've always wanted, everything I've been searching for my whole life. But you haven't been searching for it your whole life. What do you mean? And you actually had it with her once. It was your Stephie. Yes, I suppose I did. But that was a lifetime ago, before she became. And the reason you love this Stephie is because I remind you of her. No, that's not it at all. Or maybe it is. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with it? How about the fact that it makes me feel like some kind of second chance? No, don't you see? The two of you are the same person. Only you were never corrupted by the Empyrean energies, I do not believe this. Just let me explain. And I think, I'm not talking about you, Eustace. I'm talking about them. Great Scott, man. Have you no shame? In case you haven't noticed, she's kissing me. Calignous, please. This isn't very conductive to clear communication. I'm getting a very clear message. My apologies, Doctor. It's just that I can't seem to get enough of Milo. Perhaps Stephie, dear, if you'd been more like me, a little less inhibited, Milo would never have been looking elsewhere for his pleasure. Less inhibited? All those Fredericks of Hollywood outfits you made me wear, the fishnets and boots, the edible underwear, the handcuffs. Edible underwear? Handcuffs? I did everything to make you happy. Everything. And you still kept running away. Why? That seems to be the essential question, Milo. Why? Because I'm terrified. Of what? Of being happy. I know it sounds stupid, but Steph and me, we had something beautiful. And in life, it always seems like anything that's beautiful, that has value, gets screwed up in the end. I mean, my parents were happy, right? From everything I've heard, they loved each other like crazy. And look where it got them. Dead in a car wreck. Life pretty much sucks, in case you haven't noticed. And I guess on some level, I knew it was just a matter of time before something came along to screw up what we had. So I just guess I decided to... Decided to what? I don't know, I'm just babbling. Decided to what, Milo? To screw us up first and save myself the heartache. But what about me? What about my heartache? You're a survivor, Steph. Always have been. Nothing can stop you. Come on, let's face it. You were always taking care of me. I was more like your kid than your boyfriend. It's not like you ever really needed me, but I could take care of her. I mean, yeah, she's got the bad girl thing down, and she has this trick she does with her thighs and 2 anti-gravity discs that's not to be believed. But there's more to her than that. Underneath it all, she's hurting. And you think I'm not? For Christ's sakes, Milo, we're all walking around wounded. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was so depressed they put her in an institution when I was 12. Everybody's got a story. You think you're unique? Well, you're not. It's just that some of us look at our pain and decide that we won't whine about it all the time. We'd rather learn from our pain, try to help people, try to save the world. Oh, right, Mr. Nobility, always flying off to save the whole damn planet. But you never really tried to save me, did you? You were so guilty about what you'd done that you couldn't bear to face me, let alone help me. How could I help you when you were always trying to kill me? Sorry, Milo. It's okay, I had it coming. You're pretty sexy when you're angry. How could I help you when you were trying? How can I reach out to someone who's totally unhinged? I'm not unhinged. A little unstable, perhaps. The nectar from the chalice, when it spilled over me, burns through me. The energy was overwhelming. It's still overwhelming. Now, this is a key moment here. Sometimes it feels like it's the energy itself sinking, acting like it's not at all me at all. Sometimes I can't tell where the Imperium power leaves off, and I begin.
Not her doing it.
Stephie, I know you think I'm to blame for all this, and in some ways, I guess I am. But you have to believe that I never meant it to be this way. You might be right. On some level, seeing you as a villain was a convenient way for me to sidestep my guilt. But if that's the case, it wasn't conscious. I didn't try to do that. It just happened. Ever since the old seer turned me from a 16-year-old doofus into whatever it is I am, I've tried to do my very best to do what's right, make the world a better place. And look where it got me. Our Earth has been destroyed, and we're on the way to wrecking this one too. That's not why I'm done. No more trying to solve problems with my fists. No more costumes and cosmic battles. No more Captain Valor. It's over. I know this may sound idiotic, but I read enough comics and watch enough Star Trek when I was a kid that, well, couldn't you two go back in time to before any of it happened? Before you became Captain Valor and Calignous? Time travel only works in fiction, Doctor. The possibilities are irreparable damage to the chronal fabric are okay. If you ever actually tried, you should ask that question of a supervillain named King Tempest. Oh no, I can't. I won't. Who ended up with his atom scattered across 10 different centuries when he attempted to. I hate you! See, now this is where the power is actually taking over.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
And it leads into the Captain Valor Corps.
I was gonna say
battle. We're way past the time for battle. This is the grand finale, Sloat. The end of the end. So how was that issue? That was definitely the best issue. Finally getting everything, on the table.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard, like, when someone's like, oh, that song, it's so sad, who hurt them?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this issue.
Yeah.
Who hurt the writer?
Yeah. Basically.
Really good, though. Really good. I'm not saying it's bad.
And even though the thing with Stephie feels like it comes out of nowhere, I think the kids were supposed to come out of nowhere.
Basically.
About her rough life. I think it's meant to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it's that's just a way for them to explain something.
Yeah.
It's like a way for them to explain it.
But the fact is, this was my favorite issue of it all. How everything is just put on the table, come to it, and they could have talked it out if it wasn't for the energies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see that moment. She's terrified.
Yeah.
Right. She doesn't know what she's going to do.
Right.
Yeah, but she's like, no, I don't want this. But we also find out something else. Turned out her armor was containing the energy.
That's crazy.
It's
Yep,
gonna spill out when she's not wearing the armor.
Yeah, oh no. Turns out this is what made her go more batshit insane. Because she would always use that armor to do it, but now her armor is too great, basically it would damper her powers. The suit would. It's why she wore it all the time.
I gotcha.
But I love all like, imbecile, you don't know anything of imbecile. Milo, darling, is that you? Like, she's trying to talk him down.
Right.
But this is where you find out just how insane the energy has made her. Don't you see? No matter what he says, what I say, nothing will change. It's in the nature of the super beast to keep going on and on and on with the battle. But it's not just us. We're just a projection of the madness in every human's heart. People love to talk about dreams and ideals. They weave lovely fairy tales about God and peace. But in the end, it's all about punching and hitting, shooting and bombing. That's it. That's why I have to end it once and for all. End him, end me, end all life everywhere. And you can so tell that's not her saying it. Right. Those tears make that clear, don't they?
Yeah, kind of. She doesn't want to be doing this.
But the energy is just getting at her. But what does he then decide to do? He realizes there's only one way to stop it. He sacrifices himself.
That is the way to stop it. Clearly, you are the problem.
No, not just that, but once he releases it all, lets loose the resentment, it'll snap her back.
Yeah.
And of course, they're trying to don't do it. And I even say, I love you. No, Stephie, you only think you do. When you look at me, you see his potential, and you've never stopped loving him, and I've never stopped loving her. Lies, manipulation, everything you do best. Then kill me. Oh, believe me, Milo tried to take it, but then Milo Thank you. Hey! And
Dang.
Jeez.
like, oh please! If I had $1 for every time you or one of your idiot friends pulled this routine, now get up before. Don't play games with me. We all know how this works. You always come back. The hero always comes back. I love you, Milo. I love you. And then she leaves. Now, of course, they give a second. If they come back, use that. Of course, he's going to toss it like, who cares? I'm not going to use that. Sloat is left behind. But it turns out they go back to their old world and using all the energies while she's still sane, she actually does what the doctor suggested. Goes back in time to that moment, but then she goes up to Milo and says, let's blow off the school trip.
There you go. Make it so he doesn't get his powers.
And the world doesn't change. I also love it. I was like, look, I know you're going to think I've totally lost it, but I woke up this morning with this crazy idea. What idea? Let's blow off the school trip today. Wait a minute. Little Miss Responsibility. You want to ditch school? Hey, even Little Miss Responsibility needs to be bad sometimes. Whoa. Besides, there's something I love more than school, and that's you.
Aww.
That's cute. Do they go to the movie?
Yep, and they fixed everything. Basically, what it boils down to is being a hero never helped anything. Yep, and the two stay together and they get married. Now, I do love this. What does Sloat do then? He eventually, I must admit, I had to brush away several tears myself. You're Elaine, aren't you? Stephie's college roommate? Yes, senor. Milo's cousin, Sloat, just in from Malibu. I see you've noticed a skin condition, the result of a rare but otherwise harmless allergy. Cacao. Actually, I think it's quite attractive. Oh, sweet little indelectable Elaine. I thought you would, so at least he gets a happy ending. They all get a happy ending.
That's funny.
And yeah, now of course, here's the brigade stuff. This is just showing random adventures of that world.
Gotcha.
That's cool though.
But see why I love this book?
Yeah, it is a good book though. It's like it starts kind of wonky, kind of wordy,
Spins
but then
in
it
circles.
gets there. It gets there.
Yeah, but it spins in circles a bit too much.
It does.
It hammers the same point.
Right. Like it eventually gets there, but you know.
I think they needed it. This would never last as an ongoing. I'm glad they decided just to end it because it was just again spun its wheels.
Right. Yeah, and it would have just kept going, telling the same stories over and over.
Calignous is my favorite.
Yeah, I like
it. Calignous was good.
I think she's my favorite because most of her wrongdoing is, again, now she is in the wrong. There's no arguing that. The fact that even though she was testing them, the fact she didn't care if anyone got hurt in the process is not good.
Right. So you can try to hammer your point home without hurting people that have nothing to do with the situation.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Valor, he's not the good guy.
No, not at all.
But this story was needed to make Milo better. Because Milo if you didn't have those other side stories and you didn't have the other stuff going on, you wouldn't think that about Milo by the end. You'd still have the same position. Yeah, and I also like Stephie as well, even though when she starts, but to a point anyway.
Yes.
I liked Tolstoy.
Tolstoy. Oh yeah, I love the doctor.
The sane one.
Is great.
Again, why do you think that was my favorite issue? Was because just however you get that, where it's just a psychiatrist meet ill session.
Right.
And, yeah, exactly.
Between himself and himself.
Yep. And the Stephies.
I like both Stephies, but I'm biased.
Yeah, just a little.
But like I said, this is a well-written story overall. Again, verbose, very verbose.
Yes.
In the beginning, though.
Right.
It's not even like it stayed that way.
No, it didn't stay that way the whole time.
No,
definitely not.
It did feel a little shocking, the art and the style changes. They weren't as smooth. as some others have been.
Yeah,
But they're not as janky as some others have been too, like that, you know.
Right.
And then you can just boil it down to, oh well, it's a multiversal thing.
Right.
You can always do that. So
Yeah, definitely. But again, like the story it told and the deconstruction of it, I really enjoyed how it does deconstruct it all, makes it clear. Yeah, is the world better off with heroes? Yes and no, but it also makes it clear, like, let's be honest. For someone like Milo, he was never the one who should have gotten the powers.
No.
Yeah.
I think that was the message it came down to. Someone else should have gotten the powers. It should not have been Milo. Because
I think it's more of, yeah, a person can get powers, but that doesn't necessarily make them a hero or a villain. It's what they do with those powers or what they do afterwards that makes them a hero or a villain.
And he thought he was doing better for the world when in actuality, and in many ways he was
destroying everything around him to try to be a good hero and not realizing the damage he was actually doing.
The thing is though, a lot of the characters like came back because of like multiverse, whatever. But like you only see the seer once.
Yes.
Yep.
Like and that was confusing to me. Like I would have liked to have seen like a different I don't have powers to give now or something.
Right.
Like,
right.
Watching over everything as it's unfolding at the end or something.
Right.
Right. But
I like when they do that.
But it goes along with what Valor said, that the seer was only there for a brief time and never seen again. So
yeah.
True.
No, it does.
But
I would give this like I don't know, like a 6. It's not like my favorite book, but it's not
the idea
a negative book either.
Yep.
But like the idea is definitely there and it's clear and it's concise what they want to do. I'm knocking points off for the exposition and the artwork, but it was still good overall. I wouldn't put it under a 6.
Exactly. And like I said, the whole spinning its wheels. I feel that is what gets to me about this. Again, I love reading it all, but as I read, I realize it's just reiterating the same point. It makes a little bit of progress, but even in that progress, they have to then go back to the same points again.
Exactly. It's like you're telling it from 2 different perspectives, but you're really just telling us the same thing over and over again from both perspectives.
At least until the big fight.
Right.
That's when it changed. Let's be honest. Yeah. This moment here, this is where it all changed.
Yeah.
Right.
Then they did like call out the wordiness and stuff like that.
Right.
It was good though. At the end. The end was the best part.
Yes.
The last couple of books were definitely better.
Yep. And Calignous' origin too. I think that was the best because it was just finding out
you needed to show her side of view.
Yeah. I just wish it was sooner.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Having to wait that long to get to the best part of the book.
Yeah, because like I said, you feel bad for her, especially this rant here. Like I said, she's justified after everything she's done. And as she said, she could have run off. Did he ever even think about that? No.
Yeah. Right. She was still seemingly trying to help, even though when it didn't look like she was trying to help.
Mm. Yep. And I'm sorry. He's justifying banging Earth Goddess.
Yeah. For sure.
You know what I mean?
It's like we weren't even together.
That was just
right.
Yeah, like you broke up with her. It's like, no, she didn't agree to it, though. That's what you doesn't realize. It's like, you forced her to break up. She didn't want to, obviously. I mean, that's clearly what happened. When you say, this was one of those breakups saying, I think we should break up. But and then, he goes right, he's all upset about it. But it's like, dude, you brought this on yourself. It's not like Stephie broke up with you. You broke up with her, and then you're all moping and upset about it.
Right.
I'm sorry. That is like...
Oh, it's 100% on him. 100%.
Yeah, because like I said, like, if she broke it up and then he slept with Earth Goddess and then Stephie found out about it, then that would be on Stephie. Because, like, what did you think he was going to do?
Right. You broke up with him. But it's like he broke up with her And yeah, he
Ready
might have been
surprise.
trying to do it for certain reasons, but it just doesn't look good no matter what.
And again, it's like he didn't even ask her.
Exactly.
He just told her, and then he got depressed over it. It's like you drove yourself to this dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, of course, and I will say though, when moments like she's saying that fat loser Blaine, that's when I'm like, oh come on, you were childhood friends. Come on, that's where I feel like, okay, she's saying that out of just anger, rage.
Yeah, exactly. She's just trying to take it out on him.
Exactly, but then now at least she's also acknowledging like maybe he didn't intentionally not topple it over. Like I think that's the common sense. It's like, oh come on, what makes you think he really intended for this to fall on you?
Exactly. Like we know you didn't do it on purpose, dude. Doesn't change it.
Yeah, but and again, I just love this stuff. You're like I'm having a bad day, a bad hair day, bad everything day.
You can relate.
Exactly. Like I said, and Sloat, I love Sloat. That's it.
Sloat was funny. He was the comedic relief.
He's one of the best henchmen.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Like they took him out.
Yeah, I know.
At least they gave him a happy ending.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but again, yeah, like it's like we said, we all agreed. This was the best part was the session.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, and just them stars standing up and like, hey, and then she's like, nope, no more of this, none of this.
All right, it's gotta stop now.
Yep. But again, this only works when you have this predicament of they're both the same version. This wouldn't have worked if it was Stephie and Calignous was someone else.
Right.
It only works when it was this way.
Right.
But yeah, so that was Hero Squared. Thank you both for joining me. Thank you, everyone else. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Thank you for having us. Bye.